All right. Fade to black. Here we go. Live from the Consumer Electronics Show. Let's do this.
Awesome.
Respect it, I mean, we network across the globe, cause it's a global market in case you didn't know. And since we all about information flow, let me be the first one to welcome you to Tech Zone with Paul Amadeus Lane. Let's talk tech, cause technology changing the game. It's all good in the hood, it's everywhere. Now let's get to the show, cause we live on air, yeah.
Welcome back here to the Tech Zone. We're live here at the Consumer Electronics Show 2017. I am Paul Amadeus Live, coming to you live here from the floor. And great technology, great folks we've been talking to. And I want to know, what is your favorite technology out there you would like for us to talk about here? And every year for the past, I'll say 3 or 4 years, and even on the morning show I used to host, I've always enjoyed talking to one of the great minds when it comes to Mac. Talking about Larry O'Connor. He is CEO of OWC. Larry, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great, Paul. Thanks for having me back.
Great to have you, my friend. So how is your CES been going thus far?
Been busy. It's been great. I mean, overbooked, but hey, we're making it work. I mean, we got a lot of. It's always fun here. I mean, it's fun talking about showing off the new gear, and of course, a few things maybe a little bit more disruptive this year. So it's been a great. It's been fun. A lot of work, no sleep, but hey, I love this. This is what I live for.
Tell me about it. It's like, I look forward to it each and every year. I'm like, oh, CES is right around the corner. Let's do it. And just enjoy reconnecting with ones in the industry and just finding out some of the great things that they are debuting this year at CES 2017. And before we talk about the specifics that you guys are doing, Larry, here at CES,
sure.
How do you know what devices to really show here? Because you kind of have to make sure that you show things that ones are going to really want to see, and it's really going to pique their mind. So walk us through the process of that.
I mean, we build products with a purpose. I mean, we build solutions. So, in our mind, everything that we're going to bring and show is, of interest to somebody. I mean, it solves somebody's problem. I mean, we're not here to try to, hype the crap out of something, show off something that doesn't exist yet. But, hey, if we get enough orders for it, we might make it. We bring real solutions to the market. And we bring things that kind of surprise folks. So, this year, we brought our deck, which is our MacBook Pro expansion chassis. It adds internal storage. It adds ports. Basically, it puts it makes the MacBook Pro again, and it's garnered a lot of interest. We looked at this a few years ago, and this was the right time. Connectivity, everything's going away. People have needs. We can you have a robot that watches you sleep and a pillow that tells you if you snore and all that great stuff. These are things that people need in their day-to-day, and because they solve a problem, it's easy to. Well, I should say it's easy, but CES has changed a lot the few years, but the solutions, people still need them.
That is so true. And let's talk about the Internet of Things and how that has kind of changed the game, especially with your company too. How do you stay relevant? How do you stay just continuing to produce products out there that the consumers really need?
There's, especially with the focus on data, a lot of our things involve data and data management, some cloud. The storage is key to everything that's on the internet, and storage needs grow every day. So in terms of staying relevant, unless people no longer take photos, no longer take videos, no longer have all these devices in their homes communicating, have the cameras, everything that generates data, it's, we still have to predict the future in a lot of ways and be there with the right product that can interface with IoT. That being said, unless storage goes away, we have plenty of relevance as long as we continue to see that future and understand why these things are important.
And let's talk about some of the products that you have with you today. So what did you bring for our viewers' eyes to check out?
Well, we're bringing simple. I'll start with the simplest, most, I shouldn't say simplest, most basic. It's actually a lot more than, I'd say perhaps meets the eye. USB-C is Type-C connectors have come to be. That is the future standard. Some companies like Apple have gone all Type-C with no other connectivity. Other laptop manufacturers are heading that same direction. Some already are. You have Chromebook, you have Dells and such that are heavily reliant on USB-C. And although the future will be a single connection, wireless is going to be huge. You're always going to need hardline. I believe Type-C is going to be around for a very long time. But you also have a lot of devices that don't plug into Type-C. You still have hardline networks. You still have video. You still have lots of Type A devices. This dock, our USB Type-C dock, gives you back a card reader, gives you back USB Type A ports for our user devices. It gives you back an HDMI connector. So when you get one cable you plug into your computer, it gives you everything. So you come home from travel, you come home from work, wherever you're taking your laptop, one cable, you get everything that's connected to this back on that system, and it charges your laptop too. So your power adapter stays in the bag, and this is one device that connects you back up at home. So we think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool too.
And you know what? You can't just buy a hub for Type-C stuff. There's power management now involved with Type-C with USB 3.1 Gen 2. And if you're not doing the power management, devices don't, well, for lack of better, put it any other way, they don't work right, they don't work reliably. I mean, there's a lot of technology that goes into this. We actually, when we were doing this product at first, we were competing with Kickstarters that we actually thought they had something. And then it was as we got closer to production, and we were looking at the comments and the reasons why their product was delayed. It's like, they haven't even built this thing. This was, somebody made this thing up. But, we had the real deal, and we shipped when we said we were going to ship, and the rest is history. But, you buy it, you make an investment in something like this, it stays. USB-C is around for a long time, Type-C, I should say, and this dock will go with you. So this is a fun product.
That's cool.
Useful.
That's cool. And that's what I've noticed when we talk about the Type-C. When you use an adapter from, say, a regular USB 2.0 or 3.0, do you lose some kind of connectivity with devices? Or if you do, how can you kind of combat that?
Well, when you buy the right product to interconnect all your devices, you know that the right power is going to be provided, the bandwidth is there, the interface is there. It's talking to, these Type-C systems have power management and device management, and these are smart devices. Well, our product is a smart device in the sense that it's talking with the system, and as a result, you don't lose you have reliability and performance that you don't just get from plugging a plain old hub. So the big thing is making sure that you have something that's at least properly powered. And $15 hub that looks really nice and plugs in doesn't do it. It's great until you start plugging devices into it.
That's true, and that's when you have to go out buy a good one like yours, and just go ahead and do it right the first time, so you don't have to always go back. What else you got, my friend?
And I'll say the best for last.
All right.
Actually, all this stuff is great stuff. We're big in video, audio, portable storage. This is our Envoy Pro Thunderbolt 3 SSD. It's an external SSD. It's plug and play, bus power, single cable. So you plug it into the PC, Mac, up to 2 gigabytes per second of sustained throughput. So if you're doing video editing, audio editing, you need fast backup, fast transfer. You want to boot off of this in the field. This goes up to 2 terabytes and 2,000 megabytes per second. That compares to an internal drive, like a hard drive that might be 50 to 100 megs a second. An SSD in most systems, 400 to 550 megs a second. This thing is almost 2,000, actually, depending upon your content, over 2,000 megabytes a second. Very, very fast. Wow. Very, compact and exceptionally portable. And it's rugged, too. I mean, you can run this thing over and you're still okay.
Now, so it can withstand the weight of my wheelchair, right?
Absolutely, positively.
All right, sounds good. That's awesome. I love that. Love that. Love that. So, is this the granddaddy right here? Is this the big reveal?
This is kind of the big reveal. The Apple 2016 MacBook Pros only came out they started shipping about 6 weeks ago. We actually thought about this 3 years ago. In fact, we even applied for a patent. I have a patent on utility and also the design. And what we saw coming down the pipe was systems that didn't have ports for expansion, potentially didn't have the capability of internal expansion. And while we overcame that on the previous generation, so we kind of said, the previous Apples, there's enough here where this is really, maybe it's not quite the right time. But when Apple introduced their new systems, they soldered the flash. They took away all the ports other than Type-C ports for Thunderbolt 3 and USB 3. And other than the USB 3, you have an optical jack on it. So for folks with all those Type A devices, folks that have a hardline network, for Ethernet, people who want it, even a card reader. You have multimedia, SD cards, and multimedia cards. Apple took that off of their latest generation, and the effort to make this super thin, which thin is great, but functionality is still pretty important for folks that are really going out in the field. So this brings back all those ports, and we may actually, when we ship it, introduce it with mini display ports. So it's even got a standard display connector all ready to go for you. But in addition to the ports, we also put up to 4 terabytes of flash in these guys. And that's important because when you buy this machine, your storage is soldered. You can never upgrade the internal storage on this new 2016 MacBook Pro. But
never?
It's all on the logic board. There's almost nothing user serviceable in these. And as a tip to anybody buying a 2016 with Touch Bar, I highly recommend buy the AppleCare. anything goes wrong with this, there's really nothing serviceable in it. These are expensive machines, and I won't debate the cost, because I think they're very expensive machines, especially having a soldered fixed storage situation. But they're expensive machines, and the last thing you want is a $2,500, a $4,200 brick. Never mind the cost of sales tax. So AppleCare is a very good investment on these, because they're very much glued together on the inside. Very slick machine. I can't knock the machine in terms of its engineering, but it's disappointing, the lack of serviceability, the lack of upgradability, and this gives people options. So when you run out of space in that internal, this is an option that integrates with the machine to give you that additional storage back and let you have flexibility with the future, keep it relevant, because flash is going to go down in cost over time. It's almost kind of a disappointment that you have to, maybe you think you're going to need 2 terabytes over the next couple of years. To have to buy that today, when, quite frankly, what you're going to pay for 2 terabytes today could buy you 4 terabytes 18 months from now.
That's true.
It's not cool.
That is so true.
I should be able to buy what I need and upgrade later. But that's, and we continue. The other machines, everything before this, we go internal. We're putting up to 2 terabytes inside, the previous generation, and back to actually all the way back to 2007, 2006 MacBooks. We take them up high. This guy, we put a chassis on, and we give you a whole boatload of opportunities. And coming in will be a battery and internal power master, so even be able to extend the runtime. For pros in the field, they're loving it. And I think long term, you're going to have consumers that when these machines start coming onto the secondhand market, rather than, the same reason somebody's selling it is going to be a detriment to somebody who would be looking at it. I believe this gives, some legs and some new life and opportunity to get more use out of these and keep these. Apple's built a computer that's going to last forever. Well, they last 5 to 7 years. Right. They run a long time.
In computer years, right?
There you go. Exactly.
That's a long time.
It is forever, and all things being relevant. And it's such a, to me, it was a disappointment that this would pigeonhole or limit that lifespan, and this is a solution to bring that back. And I talk so much. I just keep on going.
No, I appreciate it, because you're definitely giving some really good advice for ones out there who are looking to buy that, and the piece of innovation that you guys built will definitely help out some frustration out there.
We certainly believe it, and the proof is in the pudding. But at this point, we've had a lot of great feedback on it. It was something that we were to bring out. 12 days ago, we weren't coming to show anything at the show. We were here for meetings, and as of 11 days ago, we set up a suite. We set up meetings. We're excited that we could get this thing turned, get it into a state where it could be shown, and here we are. So it's good stuff.
And I can imagine the great feedback you guys have gotten too from ones in your suite too.
It keeps it fun. You never want to have. We're looking for we want objective feedback, and it's always good when that objective feedback is along our thinking. And as a note, this machine, is with our deck on it, with our expansion chassis. It's no thicker than a 2012 MacBook Pro. So we've brought it back, to where Apple was. Brought the ports back. Kept the weight actually under what the original 2012 was. So it's a few ounces lighter than that machine. It's it's actually a little bit slimmer than that machine. But we're bringing in all that functionality back, and we kind of say it's future past perfect, because it really does put the Pro back in MacBook Pro.
Awesome. Larry, before we let you go, my friend, from OWC, anything else you'd like to bring out to the viewers out there?
In general, the only tip I leave everybody with is, look at your hardware, Mac, PC. It doesn't, it doesn't matter. There's so many systems that we see come in where you haven't upgraded the memory, you're still running on a hard drive, haven't put in an SSD. These machines, you can do. You will be amazed, what happens with a little simple upgrade. They're very cost effective. You drop it in, you go. And now all of a sudden you thought you needed to buy a new machine. You just spent $100 to put a great SSD inside, and you have a new machine. So make sure you always maximize what you have. When it's time to buy new, hey, it's time to buy new. But people are shocked when they find out what very simple upgrades do to existing systems. So we're here to keep these suckers real, keep them going for the long term, because it's great for sustainability. It's great for the pocketbook, and the reality is, for the last few years, there's not been a whole lot of real evolution, certainly in processor technology. So buy a new machine just for performance upgrade. The majority of the performance comes when you go from a machine that had a hard drive to a solid-state drive, and you can put that solid-state drive right in the system you have now.
Absolutely. Larry, great advice, my friend, and we look forward to chatting with you later on in the year. You can let us know what's going on with the company and some of the things we can look forward to, and it's always a pleasure catching up with you here at CES 2017, my friend.
Already 2017. Thank you very much, Paul. Again, it's always a pleasure. Love coming on.
Awesome, awesome. Hey, and when we get back here, live from Consumer Technology Show 2017, we'll have some more great interviews, more great guests like Larry joining us. So sit back and relax and watch out for those alerts coming up. We'll be right back here on the Tech Zone.